There's a big esports event that gathers around 130 million players across the world. That event included a lot of pro teams, especially the team that got the King of Glory online. EQ, there were over 100 players in the dungeon, and they were already losing when EQ came in and beat the rock golem boss by himself. EQ is the team leader of Autumn Leaf Esport team. It's like SKTT1 in Korea, but Faker is EQ, an ad in one of the TV shows on the streets, and a girl with red hair running the streets. A handsome man playing on his personal PC, a game called Glory Online. The girl arrived and opened the door, and EQ pulled out his ID card from the player and went out with her. In Club Excellent Era, EQ went inside and heard his team in the club bad-mouthing him and saying that it's his fault. And there's a blondie guy who got his ID card as player Yifsu, the legendary King of Glory Online. And EQ himself left in peace after giving his ID, and his girlfriend felt sorry and wanted him to stay. But the coach kicked him out along with the team members and the company, but he decided to leave on his own. The corrupted club coach, and the fact that the team members are just some bastards who relied on EQ and his glory. Now EQ took the contract and left the team. Mi-Chang, redhead, tried to stop him, and EQ told her his former team finds him worthless and that they don't need him anymore, and gave her a pat on her head. She said he is the top player in Glory, and the game is commercialized now, and he doesn't make any money. Alright, time to go back. She tried to hold herself from crying and said, "What are you going to do now?" He replied that he will take a break for a year and will come back later. The blonde who got his ID card and messed around with it while talking with the coach and said he was so stingy about the money part, and the corrupted coach said EQ couldn't afford the penalty after all. The captain club and the team leader thinks that EQ is a weirdo because he never tried to appear in any ad, and his money that he got used to help his friend who wasn't that good in the esports world. E2 stumbled upon a net cafe called Happy Net Cafe and went there and checked it out. EQ signed in to get a PC to play some games, aka Glory Online, and forgot his ID since he isn't used to the new tech yet. The place is wide and big. It has over 100 PCs. That sounds like a dream PC cafe. EQ saw a girl using the launcher and reminded him of his friend Mi-Chang until the girl started to curse. EQ came back to reality. The girl finished and left the PC and let the guy sit in her place, but she didn't log out yet, and when she returned, EQ had already won the fight and said the game already started when he used her place. The woman was so surprised that he finished the fight in 40 seconds, and he said his hands are numb. If not for that, he would finish it in 30 seconds. She thinks he must be a professional, then looked around and thought he might be from Excellent Era Club, his former club. She got excited, and one of her coworkers came with his ID card that he forgot and took it since it got the name Yichu and thought they must be the same person. And once she looked at the ID more, she was disappointed and returned his ID back to him again, and Yichu asked her about the recruitment ad in the PC cafe, and he applied to it. He was about to smoke a bit when she got angered and warned him to not smoke. No smoking area sign. She added another condition to the contract to hire him, which is to beat her in the game, but he already gave away his account, and she said that the 10th district is about to open, server 10, which made him go and check it out and place his ID card and open the game. She looked at his ID game player card, a first gen card, and asked how long he was playing Glory Online. EQ said around 10 years. 10 years? 5 years is enough for me to be a veteran. How much does he love that game? It reminds me of old days when playing Silk Road. She asked him to go out and buy her some stuff since she accepted him in her net cafe, and he started his first task. And the time for District 10 to open came, and everyone excitedly logged in and made their characters and started to do their missions. She was so excited to talk about the open, and he was just still reading the privacy and terms for the new player guide while eating noodles. And she said EQ is her idol, and especially Su Muching. And he said he got a secret. He is actually EQ, never lied about it. And she said, "Come here, I got a secret for you too. I'm actually Su Muching." She looked at his character's name, which is Lord Grimm. That's a cool name, and said it's Muching's idea to get that name. She got angry and said he didn't end the fun play. He signed in and started the game and did all sorts of beginner quests and missions. Time passed by so quick, and went inside a small space that got a treasure chest and opened it and got his umbrella weapon. He washed his face after taking a small break and returned to his seat. When he found his boss sleeping on the desk of the PC, he put his jacket on her back and opened the game. One of the players sent him an invite for a dungeon to do together, and he typed to him he would accept it, and he can't use the mix since someone is sleeping beside him. Some beginners and someone who thinks he is cool while he is a fool, acting as the team leader. It's very cringe to see them, especially how the beginners act. They all got notified by the boss that Phantom Black Cat, and they got prepared for a fight, especially Lord Grimm. They started to fight. One of the beginners started to attack and got his aggro, while the team leader took it in the end, and continued to fight it until it's finally almost reaching its second second phase, and the boss was almost there and about to die, but the stupid and foolish leader started to act like he was missing his hits, and he can't play trolling, so he can get all the loot to himself. And Yi2 noticed that, and he acted that way too, never tried to heal him at all, and continued to drag the play longer, waiting for the fool to show his true colors. Two of the team OT'd to the boss, and now the leader pretends that he had a bad day playing, and one earlier OT'd, and Yi2 stopped from helping the blondie, and Yi2 stood up and said, "You intentionally set up an OT to get everyone wiped out. You want to steal all the drops to yourself. What a pity you almost made it." The stupid guy wanted to share the drops by 50% for each of them if he joined in to attack this strong boss, and thought that Grim Lord was weak. Grim Lord started to prepare to fight the boss. The guy still tries to plead for Lord Grim and will let him choose the drops and equipment, but Lord Grim refuses, not batting an eye for that stupid guy at all, while the Phantom Black Cat is still fighting the blondie, and he is close to OT, and waited until he lost all his HP points, and finally started his aggressive PRO play against the boss solo. His weapon turned from umbrella to spear, and began the melee fight against the boss. The Net Cafe boss woke up, listening to piano keys played in sync, just to notice that Yi2 is playing using the keyboard professionally, just to find out that he killed the boss and got a fantastic drops. And his name, Lord Grim, is now known to the entire server. The blondie, trying to ruin the reputation of Lord Grim, saying that he stole it from him and his teammates. Yi2 explained everything to his boss, and she got angry and slammed the desk, saying that guy is very shameless. She said, "Why aren't you angry less than he said?" He is angry while putting a smile. She went out and said she is going to sleep and she will check on him tomorrow, and he continued to play Glory for a little longer. Lord Grim meets the blondie when he gathers players and joins his team, even though he is the same guy who accused him as a shameless player. In the end, they needed one more team member to beat the dungeon. The blondie accepted him and went to the same dungeon where the Phantom Cat is at, and Yi2 beat it all alone without the need of any one of the blondie team. He was planning to OT him, but the plan was a total fail since they couldn't get close to him at all. Then they went to the next dungeon, the Spider Cave, along with him, hoping they could get Lord Grim off guard. Few spiders flew towards Lord Grim, and he got rid of them easily in one fall sweep, and some more came from their eggs attacking him and got rid of them in perfect combo. The blondie team envied him so much and admired Lord Grim at the same time. The boss spider came in angry, and Lord Grim jumped him in the air and kept attacking him with APM 200, and that's higher than most professional players. What can I say? He was top 1 in a pro team, keeping the spider boss in the air until he beat it, and his team names, and Lord Grim notified the bullet board across the server. Another team was about to beat the dungeon but failed to make it to first place, while Lord Grim was faster than them by 10 seconds. The blondie team was sucking up for Lord Grim after they saw him, when suddenly they stumbled upon Great Lord Spider, Hidden Boss, and Lord Grim asked them to choose something he likes, and they got no choice but accepted it, and Lord Grim led them, saying the need to listen to him when fighting the boss, and led the team to their positions perfectly while attacking by himself at the same time, and kept teasing Blondie by calling him Little Moon every time he get the chance to, and made perfect rhythm with the blondie team until they finally beat the boss. His name and the blondie team names resounded the whole server. Now everyone is talking about Lord Grim, and one of the teams aiming for breaking the records are behind. One of them tried to reach Lord Grim and send him a message. His name is Blue River, and blondie team talked about his name, his pro team, etc. And he is a great blade master. That guy messaged Lord Grim, asked him to join their team to beat the dungeon, and Lord Grim didn't accept until he gave him rare materials. Blue River accepted, but he got no choice but to accept it since they needed to keep up their good name. Even if hiring an expert like Lord Grim demanded a lot of rare materials to the point that Blue River choked on his coffee. Lord Grim logged out to take some rest. Yi2 met his boss and told her that he was going to sleep, and it's already noon according to what his boss said. She also asked why he stayed so late. Did he get rid of another first kill? He said yes, and it was recorded 3 first kills. She was so surprised after hearing what he said again. Then he asked her where he could sleep. She took him to his fancy room until she showed his real one, and he just went along and said as long as there's a bed it's fine, and went to sleep immediately like a baby, and his boss closed the door gently and left him alone. The time passed by and the night came, and the baby woke up. Yi2 stumbled upon news about him and his original character, One Autumn Leaf, and remembers all the days that he enjoyed Glory Online with his avatar, and the fact that he won 3 times in the room and instantly killed once and never lost a one-on-one fight. Hearing from the corrupted coach of the Excellent Era Pro team saying all these news to the public people, now they know that he officially left the team. He left the cafe to breathe some fresh air since he was angry and sad about what happened to him. The company took his account forcefully after he made a name for himself, and now he was thrown away after they got what they wanted. Breathing the cold air of the winter while relaxing his nerves, he was about to smoke, but his boss found crying in the alley nearby, and she asked him for napkins, and he got her some, until she calmed down a bit, and he continued to smoke for a little longer before heading inside. The boss was still crying about Yi2 leaving the Excellent Era team, and Yi2 went to grab a drink and sit down in one of PC's, when suddenly his boss came to him and freaked him out with her weird face. He said after calming her down a bit, EQ has left. EQ is here now. His boss said, "Are you still at it till now?" He smiled and continued playing, aiming to set a score for a rare reward, and asked how much combo he needed to get it. She checked the forum of EQ when he placed a lot of files of guides to the players in it, and she gathered them all. She said it was 24 combos to the sword. EQ went inside the game and met the group of players who made a contract to break the record with, and made an adjustment to make the DMG dealer originated team, and took the lead of the team temporarily. The team entered a bit later after Lord Grimm, and he gathered enough monsters to finish one fell sweep, called a wave rush. The real pain began when all the enemies surrounded our boy, and he suddenly used the Z technique, which he moved in Z-like movements like Flash, and avoided all the monsters and gathered them in one place to let the team strike them at once. His spear turned into a Gatling gun and shooted the monster afar, and grabbed one of the monster by its neck and threw it on some archers. That's what an unspecialized class can do. Then made the team do specific orders suiting their jobs, and finished one wave rush in just 20 minutes 24 seconds, which broke the record of that dungeon, won the elites of the guild that invited Lord Grimm, mocking the other party who got their record broken, until Lord Grimm left the guild and the other party mocking him back. Ichi was returning to the bedroom he slept in and found his boss sleeping on the couch with all the crying and grieving over EQ leaving the team, and he placed a blanket and covered her. Then he went to sleep. He slept soundly when his boss woke up and checked on him, and she replied to his gesture once he woke up and came back to work. His boss got a call. A friend called Tang, and she went to pick her up. Her friend called the boss Lady Gogo, and they hug each other, and the boss returned with her to her cafe. When she made her place and won a game, her APM was so fast and good that she won the battle in less than 3 minutes, and Yixiu noticed that talent, thinking of adding her to his team later. The boss talked to her friend and asked why she isn't set to gaming. Tang said because it was so easy. Yixiu heard that and felt a little irritated after hearing her say that. The boss wanted to make her friend enter the gaming world, and she remembered that one of her employees won her match in just 40 seconds, which made Tang surprised. Now both Yixiu and Tang are facing each other, and everyone in the cafe gathered to watch the good show. Both of them made a bet and entered the game for a PvP fight. Our boy won with ease, using his transforming weapon, turning from sword to spear to a gun, then using multiple classes related skills efficiently, which is why it's cool. The girl didn't give up and made another bet with him after hearing a few words from Yixiu. He was suggesting not to continue this, but she is hard stubborn to win this. She kept betting and losing and repeating that miserable lose streak against him, and in the end she wanted to play again, but he refused since he didn't want her to bet on her clothes either. His boss pinched his arm hard, saying to watch himself talk. Yixiu complimented her since her APM was good, but there's a lot of others who are better than her. The people in the background felt sorry for her and said that Yixiu is so mean to her, especially she is just a girl. The boss shooed them away since she got angry at them, and all of them left them alone. The boss comforting her friend, saying her APM can make her rule the game easily. He said while leaving that Glory isn't a game that relies on APM, it's not that simple, and took the money she betted as a payment for tutoring her. Tang asked Gogo to give her an account to use on Glory so she can try to face him and suppress him in PvP. Tang made a character but still doesn't know which job she should focus on, and asked her friend after reconsidering the fact that an unspecialized job isn't good for her like Lord Grimm, and chose the battlemate like One Leaf Autumn, the top player that was used by Yixiu. And Gogo got a bunch of videos and texts talking about our famous boy Yixiu. Yixiu suggested to help her in her training instead of relying on old and outdated texts. The boss didn't believe him at first but accepted when he said he will upgrade the text and get rid of the mistakes in it. Then he went out to smoke when he heard some other players talking about the Wild Plains boss and the 3 top guilds fighting over it. The 3 guilds were preparing to attack the boss when they noticed each other and started their fight in mind games. When someone arrived, a guy was assumed to be a veteran but turned out to be an idiot as he started to run from the barrage of attacks from the boss and ran towards the top 3 guilds, leading the boss to them. Blue River said about this guy, he is an idiot who dug his own grave. When he was about to pass out, suddenly the hero arrived to the rescue. Lord Grimm fighting the boss solo and pulling all the aggro all alone. Lord Grimm asked the brick guy to add him to the party, then he continued fighting against the boss, and the brick guy party joined in, and Lord Grimm guided them all, especially the idiot. Fortunately, the brick guy was a quick learner, which made the rhythm of the battle more professional and intense. Fun to watch for all the top 3 guilds, their leaders and executives, and the HP of the boss getting lower and lower in a fast pace, which alerted the big guilds, and one of them figured out the intention of Lord Grimm and the fact he is using them to keep themselves in check why he focuses on the boss. 2 leaders of the top guilds attempted to attack the boss along with the Lord Grimm, and Lord Grimm planned ahead and made a 200 combo straight at the boss, which made him turn red, and summoned his underlings, which it counted the number of guild leaders and the members' number. Lord Grimm took the chance and pulled the aggro of the boss afar from this place. While the 3 top guilds are busy with dealing with the undead and zombies, Lord Grimm pulled the boss secretly to an empty place place and invited the blondie and 2 rookies in the same team as the brick guy, and he continued to pull the aggro of the boss and guided the team members to fight the boss aggressively to the point to finish the boss more quicker. The 3 top guilds finally arrived at the scene, but was too late when they saw the boss getting rid off easily by a team of 5, and the fact the Lord Grimm raised his attack speed and finished the boss by grabbing him by his neck and throwing and sending him flying against the walls, breaking one wall after the other and dead at the last wall. Every one of the top 3 guilds feels humiliated after watching the boss stolen under their nose right in front of them. Lord Grimm and his teammates got their names recorded in the server again. Blue River messaged Lord Grimm to ask him to join his team again and make a new record, but Lord Grimm refused since he got an appointment with the Tyrannical Ambition Guild. Blue River figured it out already since they will make a lot of breaking records soon. Each shoe got another notification saying that Excellent Dynasty has made a record with 13 minutes and 56 seconds, which awakened the spirit of the competition of Yixiu since he wanted to return the favor in his own style. A guy was training and drinking some water when 2 members of his teammates talked behind his back, and he got out and scolded them, and met one of his friends giving him the changes that happened in the team called Excellent Era, and assumed that Yichu got a hand with breaking records so far. Yi2 thinks of someone talking behind his back again, talking to someone who agreed with him to make a team and break another record. Yichu got the mission of recruiting his team, and the other guy would care about the equipment. EQ got a battle mage, brawler, launcher, and including himself. The boss got happy at first, then got angry when Yichu got someone else in mind, and he mentioned the match of the Excellent Era the next day. Yichu woke up and went downstairs when the whole cafe was watching the match Excellent Era. Everyone got excited when the narrative said 1 autumn leaf facing 3 players alone, and Yichu said, the bigger expectation, the bigger disappointment. The boss said, what you mean? Yichu said, they will lose. Excellent Era. The boss doesn't believe him. Yichu explains to her why they will lose, and that's because the idiot's son gets arrogant when fighting, and glory gained is a team game. It's never a simple game. 1 autumn leaf fights the guardian light guy, but they are in a tide now when Su Muching shoots multiple shots against that guy and helped 1 autumn leaf make a comeback. But Su Muching got herself busy with assassin type players, keeping her company, and it's one of the weak points for launchers fighting an assassin. The team was disorganized and started to show signs of losing, but suddenly there was a light blackout at the perfect moment. All the people in the caf got angry about it. The boss asked where Yixiu was just to find him outside smoking, and the light came back, and Yixiu thanked the electric man just to meet Tang seeing her play at night. One of the Excellent Era team got himself drunk and his friend was escorting him. That Hao Pig started to pick up Tang when she was playing Glory. He tried to get her attention, but she ignored him and also replied coldly to his questions. When his friend pointed out that Yiku was sitting beside her, he tried to stay calm at the real deal in front of him, but instead started to mock him with how he is working now and that he is better than him now. Yiku kept saying to Hao Pig that he didn't give him a chance for not scolding him, and he always made mistakes and tried to look good but failed, and now his team captain made a mistake and just continued making more mistakes in the game, which is why he is losing now. Hao Pig got angry at him and was thinking about making a bigger fuss, but Yiku said, look at this sign, no drunkards, and you got an image to keep since you are in a professional team. Hao Pig left the cafe angry, and his friend too. Tang asked if they were his colleagues, and he said yes, and Yiku noticed that she was already all 20 and told her to go to Frost Forest. Yiku arrived at the Frost Forest with Tang as Soft Mist, Bun the Brawler, and the launcher Su Muching, only he knew who she was. Blue River couldn't trust him, but he had no choice but to follow his lead, and he introduced one more team member whose job is Elementalist. His name is Revelers. That Revelers guy is the guild leader in the main server and is actually the captain. The fight started and everyone is working on gathering as many monsters as they can. Yiku is always gathering them all so easily, and Muching follows suit, and Yiku gives his orders to both Bun and Soft Mist. Soft Mist looked at Yiku and tried to do the same as him, and she went where Bun should be positioned at, but Soft Mist made a stupid mistake and rammed against a few monsters by mistake when she was gathering some of the monsters. She got surrounded by monsters and rain of arrows on her, and her HP getting lower and lower, but Yiku went in and told her to retreat and let him handle it, and ordered them again to make the wheel formation, and succeeded and made the Elementalist to strike. And Yixiu pointed out that teamwork is better than fighting solo, since it raises the potential of the team to the maximum when they fight in sync. Muching kept on fighting and delivering the monster by her weapon and gathering more monsters along with the rest of the team of Yiku chosen. The guy who wanted to break the record started to believe that they would be able to do it, and noticed the technique of cleansing nest was actually Su Muching, and at her last attack she sent a firework up to the sky. Su Muching sends a few more monsters flying using delivery gun skill, and Reveler's guy almost assumed she was Su Muching, but knowing Yiku, he brushed it off, and Yichu asked Muching to not use delivery gun or they will be exposed. Soft Mist asked Yichu a few pointers, and he guided her all the way, and the day after day Yiku continued teaching her all the skills of Battle Mage and how to effectively use them. Bun Bun Guy learning from Yi Chu how to use his job probably, and following Yi Chu commands. And Yi Chu finally gathered enough materials for his weapon upgrade, and his team is fully ready. Now they broke the record to 13 meters 05 sec 47. Hao Pig got angry after hearing the news of the broken record of their team, and he feels like the ghost of Yi Chu is after him and decides to take his revenge in his own way. Tang asked Yi Chu if their record is unbreakable. He said it's breakable since his team isn't fully professional, but that doesn't matter since they're already old 25 now. Hao Pig sent a friend request to Yi Chu to join his team for doing some dungeons. Yi Chu isn't stupid and played along. Bao Pig thinks he is smart for joining the Lord Grimm team. He started to chat with Yi Chu, and Yi Chu mocked him saying he got enough team members, and Hao Pig wants to show off his skills in PvP. But Yi Chu matched him with Bun Bun, and Bun said to Hao Pig that he is brave to challenge him, which irritated Hao Pig more, and bites the bait and agreed to fight the brawler. Hao Pig fought Bun and lost a few times. Lord Grimm heard that and mocked him further, saying that he was barely matching him, which irritated Hao Pig more. Hao Pig got a bulletin board message saying the team of Lord Grimm broke another record in Boneyard Dungeon. Yi Chu explains the new strategy and tactics to the team, and Hao Pig still thinks he is better than Lord Grimm, just for his surprise that he forgot that he got a match at this time, fighting Shoshin the Sword Master or the trash talk non-stop guy. He fights and talks at the same time, non-stop, which makes a lot of people feel bad about listening to this guy that never stops talking. The results were obvious. He lost. His captain left the room angry after his loss, and it seemed like they had a fight. The friend of Bao Pig asked if they're going to bun Yi Chu. Yi Chu knows that Hao Pig didn't play with his full potential intentionally, and said to him, even if you didn't show your full ability, I can still identify you. Liu Hao. Do you forget who guided you? Hao Pig closed the chat room right away, trying to escape. Tang noticed a weirdo trying to come inside the cafe, while it's actually a professional player, and Yi Chu knows him, and give him signals to come in after a while. Right when Tang went to use another PC, the blondie followed Yi Chu inside, and he said he wants to be Loki since his face is so easily to be recognized. Yi Chu says he should have moved stealthy like a thief. He said, what? Yi Chu said, if you don't believe me, I can get back the girl who thought you were a thief back here. Blondie begged him to stop since he wants to stay Loki. The blondie kept asking if it's safe or not. The blondie noticed the broken record when someone used the new tactic of Lord Grimm and looked at him and said that he is crazy for making it, and kept laughing loudly, which made Lord Grimm to mockingly say to him, you can keep laughing until everyone knows you are here, and he suddenly shut his mouth. The reason why he is here is to help Yi Chu to break the record for free. Both of them went to Boneyard Dungeon, while the rest of the team, Bun, Soft Mist, and Su Muching joined, and asked about the other guy who was with them earlier. Yi Chu said he won't come in, and then Soft Mist asked who the blondie was, and Yi Chu was about to say his full name, and suddenly the blondie started to yell. Bun started to sing about the horoscope sign of Leo of the blondie, and Su Muching liked it, and Yi Chu asked for their attention to give them their task in beating the Boneyard Dungeon record. Yi Chu used the shadow clone and got the aggro of the zombies, then sent them all flying and flew in the sky just to send them in the crack at the wall. The noisy guy noticed it too and followed Yi Chu, and Yi Chu professionally sent the corpses of the zombies one after the other into the crack. Blondie asked Lord Grimm what his plan was with the zombies, and he said he wants them to be stuck. He said there's Boss No 2. The whole team worked in sending the boss flying and Yi Chu, and the blondie took the chance and sent him straight to the wall stuck at it. Now they lessened the time for them to break the record. Everything is prepared. The noisy blondie got invited to join a guild and freaked out thinking that he got caught, but Yi Chu pointed out that to look again, then he calmed down and still talks a lot. This guy doesn't know when to stop talking. Yi Chu put his headphones on and asked Bun to sing a song. Hao Pig got notified by the system of the game, saying that the team of Lord Grimm broke another record by 32 seconds difference, and the guy who helped Lord Grimm the most was actually a swordsman called Huang Xiaoshan. The noisy guy never stops talking, making everyone leave after feeling forced to listen to this guy. Bun to the arena, Soft Mist to grab something, and Muching went to the washroom, while Yi Chu put down the headphones, leading the guy to talk to himself. Xiaoshan came in saying that Yi Chu ignored him and said he wanted to talk to him about something. Yi Chu listened to what he wanted to say and agreed to the PvP fight, but Xiaoshan changed his mind thinking about the fact that he will get himself exposed. Xiaoshan asked Yi Chu about why he left the team when he is still so good. Yi Chu said that the team was making bad scores lately, which put all the blame on the captain and got him kicked in the end. Xiaoshan said it must be that wolf-like face guy who kept making mistakes and wanted you to get kicked. Yi Chu was surprised by what Xiaoshan was talking about, and it's not like him. Xiaoshan said it was his team captain who said that. Xiaoshan tried to tell to go another time when he was there, but Yi Chu said if he transferred to another team, what would happen to Su Muching? Xiaoshan said she will obviously follow you and cut off her contract with the team. Yi Chu, her contract now left with only a year and a half left. Xiaoshan thinked about it a bit and choked on his drink after realizing it. Su Muching jumped walking down the hall of the building when Hao Pig noticed that her and tried to pick a fight with her, and Su Muching replied saying what exactly he he meant. Hao Pig took aback and said nothing. Su Muqing continued her singing while walking. Xiaoshan noticed that Yi Qiu plans to come back after a year and a half, then he left. Then Yi Qiu was about to shake his hand, but instead asked him for 10 yuan for the 2 hours of gaming he spent. Yi Qiu and his team of newbies fighting in the boneyard. A suspicious guy was spying on them. Yi Qiu said to ignore him and focus on their play, but the suspicious guy started to attack Soft Mist first and stunned her by lightning. Then Bun tried to attack him, but instead couldn't land a hit on him. When Yi Qiu noticed who this guy was, he went and fought against him while protecting his teammates. And the sus guy got lost in the end when Lord Grimm faced him. At first Yi Qiu was studying him, then he figured out his pattern and fought him. The guy stopped playing and left the PC and made an autograph signature on the fan book and said to him that the style of that newbie team is like one autumn leaf style, but it's rustic, then left. The martial arts newbie asked Lord Grimm who was that guy who used that avatar earlier. Lord Grimm answered and said that you guys will be freaked out if I told you who that is. It could be Wang Jiexi actually. The newbie said, the magician Wang Jiexi, the captain of Team Tiny Herb, one of the top 5 in the esports world. His flexible style is eccentric and unpredictable. A boy came with some bottles of water and tried to get the attention of one of the team members trying to get their attention to him, and the captain came to take one of them for a talk, and the boy went and gave one of the bottles to the other team member just to get a new IDs for District 10, and the captain ordered to attack Lord Grimm. Since they're reserve members and not main members, they had to fight first, and boy found Lord Grimm and sent his location to his teammates and started to fight. The rude guy attacked first and the ninja second, but both of them failed to land a hit on Lord Grimm, and Lord Grimm dodged them easily and started to open fire with his machine gun-like weapon. The rude guy yelled at the ninja boy, and he got what deserved. He got locked by Lord Grimm attack and sent flying in the air, and Lord Grimm used vanishing steps on him, keeping the rude guy in the air while keeping attacking him from his point blank. Then lastly Lord Grimm used Heaven Array on the rude guy and then went after the ninja boy. The ninja boy tried his best while Lord Grimm tested him, then sent the boy flying, and his helper came in and tried to stop Lord Grimm, and he got himself sent flying, but his captain arrived and grabbed him. Lord Grimm got himself facing the whole team of Tiny Herb including their captain, and the captain of Tiny Herb team declared that their training will be facing the greatest boss in history, which is Lord Grimm, and my guess with 80% that guy is actually Yi Qiu himself. Yi Qiu wakes up and washes his face and spends his days facing the team members of Tiny Herb every single day. One of the members admires a guy who made it big as he showed in ads with ice cream, and their captain came in and said if they wanted to be like him, or even better, they should focus on training hard to reach his level. Yi Qiu mocked the team of Tiny Herb, saying that the captain should face him along with his team, since it's good training for his team, but he didn't want to become their shadow that prevents them from progressing, and said it's an opportunity to face a true unspecialized job, since it's rare to find a good partner for training. Wang Jiexi started to think about what Lord Grimm said, then made an order to his team to go together against Lord Grimm. The siege starts to attack Lord Grimm, but Lord Grimm runs, saying it's a strategic retreat, and kept luring one after the other, fights them briefly, then runs again. Then the ninja boy attacks him but fails and almost makes it, yet he is better than other team members and reserves, but none recognize him, and got blamed again. That's when the captain got their attention to attack again, but Lord Grimm is nowhere to be found at sight. The ninja boy noticed that the Lord Grimm actually went offline when everyone was looking around him, and the captain stopped looking and said no need, and gave his speech about the fact that unspecialized jobs are good at first, which will be helpful for the team members to know what their limits and shortcomings are. Then Yi Qiu came back again using Soft Mist avatar and said he will invite them for a PvP fight, but with gambling game, and the room called the room next door with a password, and all the guys including Soft Mist were invited, telling to fight her, while he continued using her headphone talking to them, but she lost, and she learned a lot from the fight against real pro players. And Wang Jiexi said that's why Yi Qiu is the boss that they need to face and win. The fight ended in 3 minutes with one of the members, and the captain cheered his guy on for 3 minutes, and said Yifan isn't suitable to last longer in the team. Yifan is the assassin boy. An ugly face and rude guy kept messing with Yifan and saying he should be facing Lord Grimm now, and he started to face him when Yi Qiu noticed that he should play with another job than assassin, which is Ghost Blade is good for both attacking and supporting, and Yi Qiu suggesting to change his job and take the risk and be a man to do it. Yifan smiled brightly and thought about it thoroughly now. The deputy captain and the captain discussing the skills and abilities of the Yifan and Soft Mist girl. Wang Jiexi said that girl is actually not that simple, and the deputy said she was getting better for every fight and never giving up. Then Yi Qiu mocked the captain of Tiny Herb, calling him Big Eyes Wang, telling him to come and face him. His deputy felt that the captain would be angry, but he was softly smiling and accepted his challenge, and the fight finally begins between Yi Qiu and Wang Jiexi. Yi Qiu fought so fiercely against Wang Jiexi and kept luring him around and attacking face to face, then broke one of the pillars which held the fire, and turn the arena into a flaming arena, which is why it is getting fun. Their APM is getting faster and faster for every passing second, which is very enjoyable to watch the entire fight. The fight is getting more intense, and which unlock the potential of playing so well. Wang GXE is getting more serious, and Yiku too. And in the end, the game ended with a draw, and Yiku earned a lot for these fights, enough materials to upgrade his silver weapon. Wang said he is very ambitious to upgrade his silver weapon. Then they ended their chatting, and Yiku went to his bedroom and Tang followed him, saying that Wang offered her to join his team, but she refused, and asked about the professional sports world, and Yiku said to her does she enjoy the challenge. Her eyes lit up, and it seemed she wanted to try to join it. Yifen listened to the suggestion of Lord Grimm and changed his class job from assassin to Ghostblade. Baoze visited the Happy Net Cafe just to meet and see Yiku. The boss thought for a minute that guy was a thug or something. Tang figured it was Baoze as he started to act clumsy and a little stupid, and once he found Lord Grimm, he hugged him tight, so happy to see him. Yichu asked him why he is here. Baoze said he is on a trip and also to see him. Yichu feels burdened already, but he has no choice but to help the tall guy. Bun started to look for his master, Yiku, just to find him gaming with Tang. Yiku is not used like before when he was in his prime, while Wang GX can do so since he is so energetic and eager to fight more. Tang says that Jack of all trades is easy to solve. Yiku said that Jack of all trades was a champion last year. Tang said, champion of all trades. Yiku laughed. The chat is exploding for Lord Grimm as he kept asking for materials here and there and becomes so demanding just to let him help them break the records. And the fact he keeps switching guilds who gives him the materials he needs. Yiku took both Tang and Bun to the market street in one of the cities just to let them choose their desired weapon, and he will buy it for them. It's a way to help them fight better. Bun found a suitable weapon, but it costs 800 gold, which is too expensive for Lord Grimm to buy it. Lord Grimm asked Bun to look for another weapon, but not orange grade. Tang can't guess which weapon she needs to use. Yiku told her to choose something suitable for her to be fully balanced with her style. When Lord Grimm was looking for a bit just to find a store that sells something good and asked the guy to trade with him with the materials he got, just to find out that it was one of Guild Blue Brook who got the same materials from them. One of the executives from Blue Brook Guild went to the Heavenly Domain in their main server to meet up. Blue River got asked by the guild leader to go and grab more new accounts to use for breaking the records made by Lord Grimm. At that time, Lord Grimm was haggling with the shopkeeper to sell the rare materials with higher prices, but the guy still refused and said he would sell them for 80 silvers, but still refused in the end. Lord Grimm noticed that there's someone spying on him, and he just left to lure these guys out. Yiku gathered both Tang and Bun, and suddenly Bun felt murderous intent and headed towards it, and started to fight with the guy randomly, not knowing who this is. And the boy used a slash at Bun just to find himself facing Lord Grimm and his friends. He got excited, fanboy, and joined the team of Yiku to practice his skills as Ghostblade. Bun was sure that he felt a murderous intent just when Lord Grimm pointed out that a whole guild was waiting up there, and all of them jumped on the team of Lord Grimm. Lord Grimm fought a whole bunch, Bun fighting like a mad dog, Tang goes swiftly with her attacks, and Ghostblade supporting from behind, and attacks when needed. Lord Grimm uses Ghostblade skills too to support too, and switches the roles with Fanboy, and kept attacking the guild until it's fully on the ground licking the floor, just to join in on one arrogant guy who thinks himself is better than Lord Grimm. And Bun defended Lord Grimm and fought him just about to get a hit, and Lord Grimm protected him and sent the guy flying. Then the guild leader of the Blue Brook Guild came in just to stop Lord Grimm and said he needed Lord Grimm to help him breaking records. Lord Grimm said to him he got Blue River for running dungeons, why the weird hairstyle guy is only good pig, basically sneak attacking. Blue River felt relieved after hearing that, and the other guy got more angry like a stupid dog. And then one of the other spying guild members said if it's not Blue Brook Guild who attacked, what were they then? Excellent Era HQ, the rude blondie who took over the account of EQ, and now his team couldn't beat EQ, and he plans to attack his friends instead to stop EQ from progressing. Now EQ gave a task for Yifan since their levels are almost at 30, and he made a new strategy that includes the Ghostblade boy, and Yixiu said he believes in Yifan since he is also a professional too. The boy felt recognized by what EQ said. Now the boy was excited to fight alongside Lord Grimm, just the time passed by, and a new record was made. EQ uses the account of his boss fighting against the guy with stupid hairstyle, who mocked EQ earlier when he fought with Blue Brook Guild. They are fighting in a ranked game in the famous place for PvP called Heavenly Domain. EQ throws his machine gun in the air, then dodges the attack of the stupid hair, then kicks him in his stomach, sending him flying high in the air, then uses his weapon after falling right into his hand, and shot 5 bullets against the guy in the air, and won in 39 seconds. The chat exploded talking about Lord Grimm winning the match in the Heavenly Domain. We go back to where our genius team leader, Huang Xiaoshan is, and the captain noticed that Hao Pig stole the new technique from Lord Grimm, which allowed him to make better scores, and which explains why he was so distracted during during his match with Xiaoshan. He figured this all out on his own, and Xiaoting tries to leave so he won't be exposed by his team leader. Then after analyzing everything and putting all the puzzle pieces together, he figured that Lord Grimm is Yi-Q, and figured later that the flowing tree was Xiaoshan, who joined Lord Grimm to break some records with him. His captain asked a question, but Xiaoshan played dumb to not answer his question, yet it was so obvious for his captain to notice it. Xiaoshan gave up and spilled the beans, and said that his weapon is made only for unspecialized jobs, and now that Yi-Q is exposed, it will take at least a year to promote his weapon, according to what Xiaoshan said. Tang was reading an article about Lord Grimm and his unspecialized weapon and his style, and Yi-Q noticed the writer was someone he knows, which asked Tang to send him his homepage. Xiaoshan told Yi-Q that he is already exposed by his team captain, since he is an analyst, and figured him out. Just when Xiaoshan was talking to Yi-Q, his captain was already standing beside him, freaked out the poor boy. Yi-Q said that his captain got a low APM, which got the attention of his captain. Looking at his captain, Xiaoshan told Yi-Q that his captain wants to have a match with him, and Yi-Q accepted his duel. Was he use his main account against Yi-Q in a cross-server duel. Right off the bat, when the battle started, both of them attacked fiercely. Wizzy fight back, almost matching the skills of Yi-Q, but in the end he lost. Since the fact that Yi-Q knows the weakness of Wush so well, and the fact that he got a weapon with multiple skills in it allowed him to win in the end. Wizzy said that his style and his weapon will carry him to 50 and be like a bug in this game, but in late old 95 his value will lose it, and his unspecialized class won't be this strong, since he got no ultimate skill, but got many different skills. The captain left the peas and made the boy Xiaoshan to watch the video, which made him so eager to fight Yi-Q and have PvP with him so badly. But Yi-Q refused since he was on duty. Xiaoshan asked him again and left that stupid duty. Yi-Q said needs money too, so he can't join him for PvP. Yi-Q logged in and saw his team was in it, but they asked where Mumu. Just for his surprise, Su Muching was right in front of them, but she kept hiding her face. His boss is still around, and Yi-Q asks if she wants to sleep. In the end, his boss went to sleep and he continued to work, and asked Muching to let her join in. Tang got her avatar killed in the game, and his boss earlier asked him to avenge her. Just when Yi-Q was wandering around in the town, noticed that a lot of players were spying on him. That's when he noticed that he should lose them and make an escape, and his team members as well are getting chased or killed by those annoying and stupid petty players. One of them was Bun. We assumed he must be outed already, but to our surprise he is still alive and kicking. One of the trackers checked out the well and fell down by mistake. Bun acted like the ghost of the well and used his brick to knock the guy down completely. The four-eyed guy begged Bun not to OTM, saying that he is with them and a big fan of Bun. Bun changed his mind and left the guy alone, and then escaped from the pursuit of the PK players. The four-eyed hid himself and analyzed everything around Bun, then helped him to guide him out of this pursuit of those players, and finally was able to escape their eyes thanks to his new friend. Then Bun hid in one of the places and met the four-eyed guy, and when he focused on Bun's equipment, noticed that all he is wearing is below orange rank, which made him surprised, and said he must have used orange rank before, but Bun said I never used them at all, and his boss couldn't afford to buy it for him. The four-eyed guy was surprised by that fact since they made an unbreakable record in the game, which is hard to do now even with orange equipment. EQ called Bun if he escaped or not, and how many are after him. Bun said just wait to ask first, and asked the four-eyed guy. Ichu feels something is both wrong and weird, wondering what is going on with Bun. Ichu asked Bun to meet him in Kanji City, and when he was about to leave, the four-eyed guy stopped him and guided to another way, not filled with those players. The chat group of the players who are chasing after Lord Grime and his team members are made of many guilds who are after him. In the spearhead are the team members whom Yiku used to play with in Excellent Era, and they are very jealous of him and want to break his playtime. So petty people really, even Blue River, thinking of them as children for how they act. Yichu in his peaceful time, enjoying his adventure in a jungle-like place with thick trees. Xiaoshan suddenly sent a lot of PK messages for Yichu asking him to have PvP with him so badly. Yichu said he is busy and maybe tomorrow. Xiaoshan agreed, but after 5 seconds he continued and said it's tomorrow, let's PK non-stop to Yiku. Xiaoshan pestered Yiku until he agreed and told him to meet him in Kanji City. Xiaoshan arrives where Yiku is and the PK players are running after Yiku. Yiku said he can go and fight them since he said he doesn't feel shameless. And Xiaoshan was angry since he didn't ask for it and wondered why there's outrage like this. Yiku said because he kept setting unbreakable records which made them so angry. The guys who went after Xiaoshan then looked at his oval and said let's leave him. Since he is such a rubbish guy, when Xiaoshan heard that, he couldn't stop himself from getting angry and started to trash talk to them. Xiaoshan turned the guy who called him rubbish into an actual rubbish himself and noticed the other guy who got a better sword, then began chasing after him to get his weapon to switch with him. The other guy ran away quickly, but Xiaoshan wouldn't give up and kept chasing after him. Once got the sword, he immediately tried it on Yiku even though Yiku was going easy on him. When he was swinging his sword around a lot, he kicked his feet by mistake and fell like an idiot. There was a caravan of PK players coming running towards where Lord Grimm is, and Then Lord Grim used his skills on them and sent one after the other to OT. And Shoshin did the same and kept trash talking until he started coughing, which made both EQ and Su Muching laugh after him, saying that he feels dizzy after all of these. Though deserve it, he had unlimited energy for trash talking. A lot of PK players had gathered in one place, and Yixiu and Shoshin found a weakness in their formation which made them jump and tried to fight their way through it. The time passed by, and Yixiu and Shoshin were still fighting a massive amount of PK players. When they thought they had surrounded Lord Grim, EQ said it's not him that was surrounded, and suddenly the PK player's leader got shot by a machine gun, and all of them that were on trees fell down, and the rest of the party finally joined in one after the other, helping EQ out and Shoshin. Shoshin fights their boss, and EQ says to him to move aside since his chat bubbles are getting in his way of view. The four-eyed guy started mumbling words like he was trying to analyze the situation, but he kept walking until he hit his face on the tree and made the same mistake again after he hit Bun by mistake. When EQ was about to finish this, a lot of customers started asking for service one after the other, and it was intense in the game. EQ was in a dilemma. He had to stop quickly and look after the customers. EQ was answering the customers, and the PK players thought was giving orders in codes, but one of them said he works in a cafe and he just answers the customers while playing. And finally Yichu OT over 11 players, which made Shoshin to focus more and tried to get more OT players to win the bet with him. The guys who were left looked at them like they're looking at some monsters. All the PK players OTs from the fight streak of Lord Grim and his friends. One of them said in the chat that he saw Lord Grim saying him hi before sending him out after he got out of the dungeon. Bao Zi, aka Bun, gets excited about ping those players again, but Yichu asks him to not get in their way and step back a bit. Right after Yixiu told Tang to not engage anymore, Xiaoshan noticed that Yichu got all the talents and it felt like he was planning on coming back and suggesting that since the launcher girl, Su Muching, his contract will expire soon, then his comeback will be solid and his teammates are really talented, so why not make a new team and go pro again? Yichu was surprised by the vision of Shoshin after feeling that he was right for once. When Shoshin mentioned the skills of Bun, speaking of the devil, he joined in and suggested stealing the boss in the canyon from one of the top guilds. And Yifu said let's go, and he went with his team to the canyon to get the boss. Xiaoshan refused that suggestion and wanted to do PK with Yiku, and Yiku suggested to his team what to choose, PK or boss hunting. One said boss, and one said robbery, and one didn't want to join. In the end, Xiaoshan lost the votes, and they will go to the boss. But Xiaoshan started spamming with his voice to PK with Yiku so much that he put down his headphones. There was discussion with one of the guilds between the leader and his executive about who Lord Grim is. In the Happy Net Cafe, Yichu prepared something to eat for Muching. He was thinking about the idea of actually making a new team while looking at his team members. Yichu was still playing while Muching was watching C-drama while playing Glory with Yiku. Suddenly Muching fell asleep and rested her head on Yiku. Tang was passing by and noticed her and asked who this was. Yichu said she is Mumu, Muching, and Tang said she can lend her bed for her to sleep. Yichu said it was fine, and Tang left and said take care, winking the captain of Tyranny team, scolding his team when one of his members and the manager came at the wrong time. They returned and waited for the captain to finish. The guy wanted to ask the captain, went to the vice captain and waited for him to finish eating his lunch, but it's taking so long. The guy explains what he gathered in the driver of Lord Grim and his team, and the vice captain showed the videos of all the players of Lord Grim team and the skills of Lord Grim so far that he showed, and he is implying that Lord Grim is Yiku himself to the captain. The captain doesn't want to believe it since he found Yiku left the esports world, but since he is still playing it now, making it interesting, and how to play with a new special weapon with 24 classes without making any mistakes. Now they plan to make contact with him to measure him. Lord Grim and two of his team joined in the game, Jost Blade Boy Yifan and Mumu. Lord Grim was going on his way to meet them when suddenly someone opened fire on him and he dodged it, and the other threw his axe at him and he reflected it, and the guys showed themselves in front of Lord Grim. Since they got positioned themselves, Lord Grim started running to them and dodging their continued attacks and combos. Mumu and Jost Blade arrived nearby, but Lord Grim asked them to play with themselves. Since he met a sharp elementalist, Lord Grim continued dodging their attacks. When they thought they caught him in their trap, he used a flying gun and dodged it too. Both of the guys who attack Lord Grim saying in sync that unspecialized is a disgusting class, aka broken class. Then Lord Grim lured them together and planned a trap for them. He started jumping around and used his gun to fly higher just when the vice captain used his skill to strike down Lord Grim, but it's not reach him. Just suddenly their captain actually joined in with his striking fists, sending Lord Grim down on the ground to fight him. Lord Grim reflecting the attacks of Han, their captain, and the striker kept attacking Lord Grim, one after the other. When he was planning a strong strike, Lord Grim changed his weapon to spear and fought him with his old style when he was once one autumn leaf that reminded Han of the the old days that he used to fight EQ, which made him believe that he was really EQ, and said to him, shouldn't he retire now? EQ said, why should I when I like this game? Han said, why isn't he in the Team Excellent era? They kept losing their place recently, and he believed that EQ shouldn't forget their old glory, and a flashback of one Autumn Leaf vs Desert Dust fighting in almost equal footing. When the game was in the open beta, EQ met with Han with their main avatar, and the fact both of them joined their respective teams and began their own glory. They both treat each other as rivals, and both get 100% win/rate, and both fought in esports and showed their skills. And EQ won in the end and got the prize. EQ used his Ghost Blade skill and sent Han flying. Then Han said to EQ, will he come back? EQ said, of course. EQ said he will rest for a year and will come back.